morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Lit Inside Scoop. I'm your host, Steve Scanlon. Sitting next to me is my co-host, Bubba. And sitting next to Bubba is Joe.
Hello.
Hey, Joe.
And missing in action this week is...
You were 5 minutes late. Why? Were you eating something?
I was scouting different restaurants to figure out which restaurant to eat.
They locked up when they saw you coming in. They probably keep it open. Triple their
I was
profits.
thinking about a buffet later.
Uh-oh. There's no more buffets around. You closed them all.
Oh, yeah, true.
What did you do to Emily, your poor niece?
She's working the tab that I...
Working a tab? They don't sell tab anymore.
We went out to eat the other night, and...
You left her there to wash dishes.
Yes.
Poor kid.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
And so she's probably washing dishes tonight as well. She said that she has a bone to pick with me when she sees me.
You left some meat and some bone somewhere? That's impossible. Back to reality. I mean, the Olympics are over. So, the USA did very, very well. I was proud to see we had the most medals of anybody.
So we came in first.
Have the most medals, yes. With some things we could have done better in, some things we could have done worse in. Some things we did great in. First gold medals like in fencing. Basketball teams, of course, that were favored to won. The volleyball team, I believe, won a gold medal. The water polo team won a gold medal. Simone Biles, Reggie from WWE did more flips than her. That's a story behind the story. She had basically bailing out of the Olympics. That was kind of a sad story.
Yeah, talking about original, I'm impressed on the flips and other moves that he does.
I'm impressed with Flip Gordon too. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing, but Reggie's not a wrestler. If I want to watch the Olympics, I watch the Olympics. I want to see gymnastics, I watch gymnastics.
True.
That isn't wrestling to jump around, jump over everybody.
True.
I'm not a big Ricochet fan for that. At least he tries to wrestle.
Yeah, good point.
Sorry. Just fun to interrupt you.
No.
I don't make comments on you either. Shut up.
Fencing, I never understood the rules to that. I know they
yeah, well, it's fencing and foil.
Walk around trying to poke each other with this rod.
It looks like a sword.
Yeah,
okay.
A sword.
And the girl from USA won the first gold medal for Americans in 40 years.
Try to
something to do. I don't know.
Opponent.
You probably do it just for shish kebab. So.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It was pretty good.
Hey, did you get any results or anything just to shut him off? Because the Olympics were great.
I do have.
While you do that, I'm thinking about kebab.
A few matches.
You're always thinking about food. No, so I've dropped 30 pounds. Someone actually said that to me. I've dropped 30 pounds.
Oh, congratulations. You lost it, I found it.
Let's go for
I do have a couple of matches haven't had any results yet. A week from this Saturday, we will have the results.
Last time we had, you guys missed a great show in Woonsocket. Off the chain, 288 people in attendance.
Oh, that's a good size crowd.
And it was I was actually talking to Gangrel for a couple of minutes. Nice man. Teeth a little crazy, but nice man.
Does he still look the same from his WWE days?
Oh, yeah. Well, plastic surgery helps. Anyway, no, he actually wrestled well. Wrestled King Leon. Okay. Now you have SummerSlam. Did you have all the matches, or did you skip one?
So far, I've only got the ones they made official. Mm-hmm. They added 2 more since the last show.
3 more. That's okay. I'll help you.
But it wasn't made official. WWE title, Lashley versus Goldberg.
I've already read on the internet that Lashley wins.
No, I'm going to pick Lashley to win, too. Who do you pick to win, Joe?
I'll go with the Hall of Famer.
Bobby Lashley's a future.
Because Lashley and his manager already took a poke at Goldberg's son.
That's why he's going to lose.
SmackDown tag titles, the Usos against the Mysterios.
Usos are going to win. They'll cheat to win.
It's going to be hard to pick. Want their Mysterios to win, so I'm going to go with the Mysterios.
Same here. That's all I got.
John Cena's wrestling against Roman Reigns.
I mentioned that last show.
By hook and by crook. No, but that's still on the card. Sasha Banks is going against Bianca Belair. That was just announced this past Friday.
The John Cena match, is that authorized? I mean,
Yes.
he ended up getting a contract from
Finn Balor,
right.
who got it almost stolen by Baron Corbin. If you have watched, you would have saw it. But
Yep, because I saw that.
they couldn't see you, but we couldn't see me either. But I saw it.
You saw my brother?
You look a little bit like Cousin Nick now you mention it. He smells like him. Actually, look a little bit like Festa, but that's another story for another day.
I forgot what I was going to say.
That's not hard to do. I mean, there's some great matches coming. There's going to be other matches too. I believe something could be. A Big E is going against somebody. He has the Money in the Bank. He did kind of threaten he might take on the winner of Roman Reigns, John Cena. Roman Reigns, I think, is going to win the match. By the way,
Also, there's another match.
Cena.
Interesting if he faces, I'm not saying Cena's going to win, but if Cena did win and face Big E, they're good friends and behind the scenes.
Yes, they have.
There's another possible match that was hasn't been made official yet. The U.S. title, Sheamus against Damian Priest.
Yes, they talked about it. Almost in AJ Styles would be going against Randy Orton and Riddle, although Randy Orton, we think, turned on Riddle. He didn't. He's just letting him know that stay out of my way, stay out of my space.
Poor guy. Randy Orton broke his heart Monday night.
No, he actually did it for a reason. Tough love. Randy Orton's going to end up going, because I've heard rumors that they're taking the title off almost in AJ Styles.
Oh, no.
AJ wants some time off.
Oh, that explains it. Because I like AJ and almost.
Almost. He wrestles almost as good as the Giant Khali didn't. Yes, you heard me right.
Now, who's that tall guy with?
Almost.
No, not him.
He was General Aziz. He was in the underground thing there with at one time.
Yeah.
He had the match against Braun Strowman.
Okay.
He's with the guy who
Apollo
invented
Crews.
Who invented an accent out of nowhere, a Nigerian accent,
Yeah.
with a giant Q-tip. I don't know what the whole Q-tip idea is, but he comes up with this giant metal Q-tip, and he takes he's calling it it's the Asiatic spike that Don Morocco used to do. He put tape around his thumb and he spikes people in the throat with it. That's
Isn't that what Umaga did?
That's not a wrestling hold, guys. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You don't jam your thumb into someone's throat. The thought does cross my mind, though.
He also cost his buddy many matches too with attacking.
The whole thing with Baron Corbin, I mean, the man can wrestle. He didn't lose all his money because he lost his title. Shinsuke Nakamura, I heard rumors he right now is not on the card, but he wants to have a match with somebody. I don't know who's. Seth Rollins, I believe, is going against Edge. You didn't mention that there though, but that's okay.
Slack.
It's been making.
I think that's going to be one of the best matches.
That could be,
of the night.
if they let it go, that could be one of the best matches. That could be one of the best shows of the entire card. Of course, you got Charlotte Flair against Rhea Ripley against
The champ.
Nikki ASH, almost a superhero. A three-way for the women's title.
Yeah.
Didn't see that on the list.
Yeah, right at the top.
That's it. Yeah,
That was the first match named.
But you didn't read it.
Read at the last show.
Yeah, but I said to read the list for SummerSlam, but that's all right.
Okay.
And who wins that match? Nikki. Because Charlotte and Rhea are going to fight against each other and leave Nikki alone. Nikki's going to come in and Charlotte hit a natural selection. Rhea will hit the riptide and she'll come in, sneak in and win the match. But I'm glad for Nikki ASH, Nikki Cross, because she needs the job because her husband got cut from NXT. Killian Cross.
Yep.
I mean, Killian Dane. A good worker. Since we're on the subject of cuts, NXT made about 12 cuts. They're online, folks. The notable ones: Bronson Reed was local kid. Mercedes Martinez, who I've met, a really good local wrestler, has been around for many, many moons. They cut her because she could wrestle too good. There's about 9 other names on there. A couple of them will be getting some pushes in to cut them. I don't know if WWE is losing money or just cutting back or what they're doing, bringing in new talent, and they're trying to push them to new talent.
I don't
know.
WWE cut a couple of people a few weeks.
I know some of the storylines are getting dumb. Like I said, the Baron Corbin one was the stupidest ones yet.
And they released Bray Wyatt and Ric Flair too.
Ric Flair asked for his release, and so did Bray Wyatt.
No, rumors about Ric Flair. He was unhappy with
Creative.
how WWE was being creative with his
He
daughter.
had a big argument with Vinnie Mac. You can't argue with the guy who owns the show, no matter who you are, Ric Flair or anybody else. And Vinnie Mac says, "I'm not gonna deal with you," and he's like, "Release me if y'all can give me a good storyline."
Another guy who had an argument with Vince McMahon in the past is Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar's been rumored to go to AEW, and supposedly AEW is trying to sign Adam Page, which would be a huge loss to WWE if he goes there. Andre is in AWE. I heard Daniel Bryan's in AEW, whatever they want to call themselves. I don't watch it.
And you've even seen rumors about Adam Cole too.
Adam Cole, yeah. So I don't know if it's true or not, but a great talent.
So something like $10 million.
We've seen him. Bobby Fish got cut too. I forgot that name. Real good local, good worker from New York. We've seen wrestle a few times. Part of the
Big time wrestler.
well, no, big time. He's also part of the NXT faction that broke up with Adam Page, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong. What do they call themselves?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I'm drawing a blank myself. Maybe Steve can help me here.
Undisputed Era? Undisputed Era?
Yeah. Thank you,
I
Joe.
just remembered.
See? Maybe we put you in the big chair and put Steve over there because he's beginning to sound like you before. Not saying a word.
I plead the fifth.
You wait a fifth. That was your fifth sub.
After the show, I think it'll be number 6. Food.
LPW is a show come up. I'm not sure 100% when. I think it's in September.
Okay.
Speaking of independent shows, there's an independent show happening this Saturday in Fairhaven. Not House of Bricks, people. It's just an independent show featuring Davey Cash and highlight Chris Pyro. I mean, highlight Davey Cash and Chris Pyro. They're kind of running the show and featuring those two. There's also Friday, there's going to be matches in Dedham at the NCW. John Casey's going to put another show on, a Rumble of some sort, in Dedham at the VFW. It's all venues I've been to, so. And you've been, and you don't go. They don't want you there anyway. And I missed the show at RWA. I had a tough weekend myself. I took a nap and woke up and it was too late Saturday night. I woke up, shows were recorded on the way over. But good to see independent wrestling starting up again locally.
Yeah. Okay, now, it's good to see WWE, AEW probably doing the same thing with the fans are in the audience and getting back to almost normal. Now, with that in mind, do you guys know if the WWE is coming around here sometime?
Yes. After 12 weeks, they'll be here in Boston, I believe in November or December. It's been listed in the places John Cena's going to visit. His father's going to allow him to come home and sometime in December for Christmas for the holidays. Good man, John Cena Sr., who you've met, I've met. Joe's never met him. I work with him, you've worked with him. Seen pictures of him? Yeah.
Oh, I've actually seen him a couple of WWE Raws.
Yes. I worked the ring with the man, and he's seen me talking to him, and he's talked to him over other matches.
Now with John Cena Sr., also known as Johnny Fabulous, it would be good to see him in another show, independent show. So I wonder,
He's kind of shying away
which
from
show,
him right now. I don't know.
how is he?
He's shying away from a lot of them.
Independents in a while. I think last time I saw him was maybe 2 years ago. I know it was before the
Well, he worked
pandemic
he
hit.
was a House of Brick commissioner there.
Yes.
At the end, and
Yes.
we saw him for our second to last show, I believe it was.
That's a role that he likes playing as commissioner, because he was also before a commissioner for Showcase Wrestling. But he makes a good commissioner, I got to say.
Gets the crowd into it. Knows what he's doing.
He gets really verbal
Nice man.
in his promos and his run-ins, everything else. He gets very verbal. So I think that helps him out a lot. That helps out wrestlers a lot too, I think. Because I think you put more effort into, your storyline if you were to be verbal, during your confrontation with another wrestler in the ring, compared to, okay, I'm just going to go do a run and attack the guy and not say a word. I think if you had the verbal skills like John Fabulous, it will help increase
Or
the
John Cena.
storyline.
The incredible Chump Hogan here had verbal skills. Ric Flair, we've discussed this before. Wrestlers that have great verbal skills that enhance their career greatly. Roman Reigns is beginning to get them, but see, Paul Heyman has cut some of the best promos in history.
Now, why
Well,
does
I hate
he
to-
announce his name every time he cuts a promo?
Because
I'm
that's the way
Paul
he
Heyman.
is. Wants to let him
I
know
know
who
that's
he
the
is. I
proper
know, but
way
that's,
of
but that's,
introducing yourself.
that's the way he is. He wants to bring the highlight to him for a
Okay.
second. Steal the thunder, but that's the way Paul Heyman is. I happen to know a person who knows his wife, and he's kind of a jerk at home, but that's another story for another day, too. Wrestling has become, I think, a little bit stale. They're getting more into the storyline. I'm top of the old school who likes to see wrestling matches. I mean, getting, I just mentioned them. I know a friend might be pissed off if he hears this, but having Highlight TV Cash, Chris Pyro, Jimmy Anderson, he goes, that's his wrestling name, another fella getting thrown at you in a wrestling match. It happened to me in Woonsocket. I was in the front with my friends, and of course, they always get thrown at me. It seems like it's, I'm the big target, let's kill Bubba on the front row. And Jim didn't even ask me, Jimmy Allen, Sergeant Trooper Gilmore, if he could do it. That's okay, I don't mind getting involved. It's fun. It's for 10. I mean, this show's this weekend is only $10. I know for a fact it is. LPW is $15 in advance. Yeah, I think they get the 4 for $50 deal going again, I believe. Don't hold me to this. You can't go wrong. It's a night out, something to do, and see a live crowd again. And good to see these guys are getting working, like I said, with the COVID. If only they could teach the Red Sox how to play right now, where they got like 2 wins in the last 11. They're 5 games out of first. They were 3 games, half games up. They're 5 games out of first. Patriots have a preseason game tomorrow.
Well, tell me the Yankees ain't in first place.
No.
Yankees are in
Tampa
third
is.
place.
Tampa
is. Right now, if the season was dead, the Red Sox would not make the playoffs. It wouldn't be a playoff team, and they should be with that batting roster.
Yeah, Joey reminded me like 6 times the last few days about somebody's birthday tonight.
Oh, wait. His 68th
Now, you
birthday.
reminded me 6 times, but you haven't announced it at all.
Hulk Hogan's birthday.
Who cares?
Today.
How old is he now?
68.
Too
Wow,
old.
almost 70.
Jerk.
I think Vince McMahon is in the 70s. if I'm not
73.
mistaken. Same thing with Ric Flair.
Woo. 71.
Bill
I thought he
Goldberg.
turned
though.
72.
Bill
Is he
Goldberg's
in the
56.
50? Oh, that young. That young.
Why do you
I
think
thought he
I'm
was
here?
older.
See, Emily told me all this, but she's not
Eric
here.
Bischoff must be up there too.
Eric Bischoff just had a birthday about 2.5 months ago.
Okay.
I believe he's 64, 63, 64. He is totally, he's still in marketing. He doesn't have anything to do with wrestling anymore. But he's in marketing.
Yeah.
That's what he was. People realize he was a sales marketing manager,
Well, I never knew that.
businessman.
Okay.
Yes, before he even came into wrestling.
Last time I saw him was at
Today
the Hall of Fame.
today is Bill Alfonso, referee Bill Alfonso's birthday too. More important than Hulk Hogan, but because I met Bill Alfonso, I respect him.
Finally got to see some of the matches he refereed.
Oh yeah, he was good.
He was a great referee for NWA.
He also worked for NWA. Phil Alfonso also worked for ECW. Remember as a manager?
Yes,
Phil
as a manager.
Fonzie?
That's where I met him.
Well, you just said NWA.
Yeah, he was a referee for NWA, and ECW was their manager.
Manager. Well, he wrestled for. I mean, he refereed for a while too in ECW, but then he became a manager. He had decent mic skills. So I met the man a few times.
Joe, to a sad note, do you have a list of deaths?
I got at least 4.
One great one. I know one great man who I met.
Actor, comedian Jackie Mason.
Caddyshack 2, funny man.
And he's also the voice of Krusty the Clown's father on The Simpsons. ZZ Top's Dusty Hill.
Yep.
See the one with the long beard?
Yep.
That's one of them.
Yeah, him and the band appeared in one of the
Lead
Back
bass.
to the Future movies.
Yes. Number 2, I believe.
Nope, 3.
Is it 3?
Yep.
That's why I don't watch too often.
And speaking of NWA, one of their legends, Bobby Eaton.
WWE, he worked for WWE, NWA, AWA, GFW.
He was a great tag team partner.
Yes, Sweet Stan Lane,
Yeah.
Who used to be
the Midnight Express.
Used to be
Managed by Jim Cornette.
was an interview in the WWE.
He was a very quiet guy out of the ring, well liked by the wrestlers outside the ring. Nice guy. He's the guy who I did meet for a few seconds. Spoke to him with Jim Cornette. Nice guy, very very soft spoken, but he wasn't much of a promo guy.
With
It wasn't
Jim
his
Cornette
thing.
around as your manager,
Well-
the guy probably didn't allow him to talk.
He did in person. I mean, we've seen some guys in person that are quiet. Greg Valentine, Kevin Sullivan. We've seen. I know we've seen.
Now, guys like that
Scott Stein.
paved the way for wrestling today.
Oh yeah, Bobby
We got a
Eaton.
great deal of respect for them.
A lot of them. It upsets me when people disrespect some of the old time wrestlers. Really upsets me. A guy like Mike Baker, who's been on this show, trained kids in New England for a long time, and there's people been out there who've been disrespecting them. And this is a. I don't do this too often, folks. Okay, it's my eyes now. Don't disrespect Mike Baker. Whoever's doing it out there, we're gonna find out who. I talked to Mike this morning.
Now, how is Mike doing?
He's good. His daughter just turned 21, if you can believe that.
Already?
Stephanie.
Wow,
Yes.
I remember seeing her at shows.
Yeah, she's been. I used to drive her home from the shows.
Back in Emily's age.
Yes. I used to drive her and Mike Baker's mother home from the shows in Fairhaven. People, you've asked me who my favorite wrestler is. Mike Baker's right up there in my top 3, just because of what he's done for independent on the scene, wrestling, training people, entertaining me, bringing in new talent to entertain me, promoting a wrestling show, working a wrestling show. You've seen a couple of his shows. One of his, you saw his last show, which was really good.
Talked
12
about his last
matches.
show. If you would have asked me which is my favorite independent show, matter of fact, even pro wrestling show itself, that last show that they put on, what up there is at least my top 2 favorite of all time. It was a really excellent show that they put on last.
12 matches, $10. Great matches. They weren't little skimpy little matches. No, it lasted 3 minutes or 5 minutes. You run in and out of there in an hour and a half.
It lasted till like midnight or past midnight.
Well, he
I
had
was
12 matches.
trying to stay awake, and because it's late.
Trying to
folks.
stay awake. There wasn't anything
And,
open that night. You had to go make at McDonald's.
Emily kept on hitting me in the shoulder and saying, "Wake up, Uncle Steve. Wrestling's not over yet." And I'm like, "What
I
time
do
is
that. I
it?"
do that the whole time when I went with your brother John. Wake up, the matches are still going.
Yeah.
But I love them.
Now, talking about Mike
Did you-
Baker, another thing that I overheard people compliment him at the last few shows that I saw him at. Was he gave people, as a booker, he gave people opportunity to wrestle for him, and a lot of wrestlers respect him for that, giving people a chance. And
If you asked him,
as
he put you in
a
the show.
fan
He showed up, he
of
put you in the show.
his shows, he made a great decision of having different types of talent there instead of having your favorites and limited amount of people on the roster.
I mean, you go from the mighty Bosch to Sweet Scott Ashworth, a legend, 37-year wrestling legend, who just fun to be there, to a guy named Powerful Pat Garrett. People really know him, Garrett Perry owns those Middleborough Oilers. Nicest guy, plays a bad guy in the ring. TJ Richter, the ex-wrestler referee, great friend of ours, great friend of mine, guy I respect in this business for 20 years, has his own problems, but people didn't like him as a referee. I thought he was one of the better ones they had. Jeremy Bell, who's one of the most respected referees right now in New England, works almost everywhere. I mean, just like you said, local people. We have seen local guys. Teddy Goods works top rope. I just saw a top rope match a couple weeks ago in Brockton. You were gonna come with that show with me. Actually, you did. You came to the show with me. Your brother John and them. We had a great time at that show. It wasn't the best wrestling. They have another one coming up, by the way, in 2 weeks. I keep forgetting about that too. I got to write all this down, like Joe does. But there's independent wrestling is trying to pick up a little bit now because it was dead for a year and a half because of the COVID. I mean, I want to remind people out there. See, I don't know if I need a mask on or not anymore because it's confusing. If you haven't been vaccinated, please get vaccinated. Please. I'm begging you that one. The law keeps changing. Do we need a vaccination? Do I need this mask anymore? He kind of stinks, but with him, I don't know. But
a lot of places, as long as you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask.
The governor's mandating things now. Do we get vaccinated? You can't go in. You can wear it indoors, wear it outdoors.
True.
I don't know if I should leave it half on, half off.
When I think of half on, half off, I think of barbecue sauce on chicken.
Here we go.
Okay, well, we thank you all for watching us. Thank you guys for appearing. Thank the director for directing us. Thank you, WACS, for having us on. Thank you, viewers, for watching us. Until next time, have yourselves a great 2 weeks, and we'll see you next time.
Barbecue grills. He's around. I know it. I've seen him in a barbecue. It's not healthy.
He's also in his backyard, too.
It's bad.
I think it's time for me to start eating soon. Barbecue.
Bad.
Chicken.
Help us all. Thanks for watching.